I want to be clear. The best keyboard for a programmer is whatever keyboard you have. I'm pretty sure there's like a programmer out there with like a $10 keyboard that could kick a lot of our behind. As long as you have a keyboard, you could put in work. What this video is about is when we're coding, we want to have that keyboard that makes us feel comfortable and allows us to code flawlessly. So when we talk about the best keyboard, I'm not going to tell you it depends like all these other channels out there. But it depends. But for real, we all know there is no one size fit all, because if there was, the world honestly would be pretty different right now. So the best keyboard for anyone is going to be a custom keyboard. As we know, custom keyboards are quite pricey. So that's why my pick for best keyboard is the Drop Alt. And here's why. Upon arrival, my alt came with a regular brown box, nothing fancy. But once we got into the box, we had our 65% modular keyboard, the alt itself, which has 67 keys instead of 87, and a floating keycap design. It came with a USB-C to USB-A cable, a keycap puller, key switch puller, and the magnetic feet, which allows us to actually prop it up on an angle. The construction on the alt was solid. It has an aluminum frame with very slim bezels and a notable feature of the hot swappable switch sockets, which allows us to swap out our switches without having to do any soldering. The fully programmable keyboard using QMK allows us to create macros or custom key bindings. The RGB backlighting and underlighting, which is a very nice touch. Double shot PBT keycaps, and my alt came with the Halo Clear switches. I usually type on Cherry MX Browns, and these were actually pretty nice. They have a 65 gram force actuation point, and I think these will be my new typing switches. Which brings me to the first reason I choose the alt as the best keyboard for programmers is how customizable it is. If you're going to use a keyboard every day for your living, you want to be able to customize it to your preferences. With the hot swappable switch sockets, it allows you to swap out any key you would like to your preference. You can, if you choose, have a harder press on the delete key or a softer press on the space bar. Mix and match the switches to your preferences. If you're tired of using Cherry MX Res, go ahead and try the Browns without having to pay for an entirely new board. I think that that's huge. On top of that, you can fully program your board using QMK. When you want to create a macro for a specific key press, or you want to change the key mappings on your keyboard, you shouldn't have to go buy an entirely new board. Just go ahead, use the configurator that they offer you, and then flash the firmware, you're good to go. This now brings me then to support. As a programmer, you're going to sometimes be using Windows computers, maybe sometimes using Mac computers. You don't want to have to buy an entirely new keyboard for your Mac, for your Windows, for your Linux, or whatever operating system. You should be able to have support from your keyboard, and that the alt does. You have out-of-the-box support for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, and you can always go flash the firmware for whatever keyboard preferences or configuration you would like. So support is my number 2 option. The alt is great. And number 3, reliability. Since I've had my alt, I have had no problems whatsoever. The build quality is great. My key pressings are flawless. And I love the texture on the keys. It allows me to just kind of like just glide across the keyboard as I'm moving. I personally like the 65% style because I don't use the number pad too often, and you also have numbers horizontally above all your letter keys. So number keys missing is not a big thing for me. And it does have the arrow keys, which I use. And so I did love the fact that the alt had the arrow keys. My last and final reason why the alt is the best keyboard for programmers is the fact that it encourages you to learn more about your keyboard. I've never swapped out switches or broken my board apart, put it back together, and the alt actually, it encourages me to do these things. It encourages me to go and program some macros and change the key bindings and to learn more about how a keyboard works. For me, I think that's a big bonus, and I like that about the alt. And if you're a bit nervous about programming your board, the alt does come with this cheat sheet that does come with the default mappings that already exist and allows you to navigate through your board as is. If you made it with me this far, I need you to go in the comment section below and type the words "we here," so I know that you was rocking with me from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. I made this video to support you as you made your decision in terms of what keyboard you wanted to purchase. Whatever keyboard you decide on, whatever keyboard you're thinking about, post a comment below, let the community know, and let us all discuss and dialogue and politic about what keyboards you buying, what keyboard I'm buying. For me, the alt is my keyboard of choice. And all I ask of you guys in return to show me some support, when you hear the beat drop, I need you to click on that like, click on share, and most importantly, click subscribe. Until next time, we out. Now you know only real ones stay till the very end, and that's why for you I got a bonus tip. Honestly and truly, no matter what keyboards you have, as long as you spend the time to become proficient on it, you're gonna kill it. The typing speed and how well you type is one of your secondary skills that complements you as you code. You don't want to have to be looking at the keyboard and like going back and forth fidgeting. Practice on whatever keyboard you have, become proficient, and at the end of the day, you'll be a rock star.